Whenever I arrive at a backyard, a garden, or a farm, I immediately start observing what's growing around me. And I'm sure many times when you're walking through the woods, you start to notice changes in the patterns of the plants that are growing around you. Well, if you've ever walked into a forest and seen big patches of pines growing, this is often indicating sandier soil conditions below because the pines really thrive in sandy soil. This isn't a 100% sure bet, however, because some of these plants will actually survive and do quite well in conditions that aren't their preferred growing condition. But it is a good guiding principle for us to understand potential patterns that are happening below soil without even digging in with your shovel. As you can see with this image here, we have compacted soil, overgrazed soil, wet or flooded soils, low fertility soils, and even sometimes high fertility soils. And all of these conditions can be identified. There's also low acidity or high alkalinity in the soil that can be identified by specific plants. And these are characteristics that plants will often favor. So by using plants that favor these specific conditions, we are then able to infer on what the subsoil condition or the lower soil conditions will be. If you look in this image here on the right, this is a juncus. Juncus is a plant that loves moisture, so it's indicating wet soil. Maybe. It's indicating access to water, which means maybe it's extra compaction and there's a flooded area. Maybe it's not flooded at all, but it has a high clay composition and therefore holds lots of water. So it's indicating for us a wet spot. It's not specifically telling us whether it's compacted soil or clay soil. It could even be both. When we are out on the field, we don't use these diagrams like you see before us. We actually have a big color photo of the plant and all the different components of that plant, as well as a description below it of what it may be indicating. I print this out as a flip book so that I can have it on hand when I'm walking a property and I can see that big patch of dandelions like you've got in your front yard. And with that, flipping to the dandelion section, I can then see that dandelion is an indicator of compact soil. It's an indicator of potential copper and iron deficiency. And it's also an indicator of potential acidic soils. So all of these factors and patterns in the way that plants grow are going to help us to identify whether the soil is fertile, whether it is devoid. My backyard, the one that we just are working on for the second year now, it has a huge amount of wood soil, which is an indicator of low calcium. And if you look at the soil, well, it's got low everything. So I definitely believe that that is indicating correctly for my soil. Wait a minute, we're not going to measure nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, or the acidity or alkalinity of our soil? Aren't these basic soil tests that everybody does and all farms do when growing food? Yes, they are standard tests to measure the soluble nitrogen, soluble phosphorus, and soluble potassium, and to measure the parts hydrogen, which is the acidity or alkalinity of our soil. But these are actually irrelevant when you understand living soil ecosystems and how they actually speak to us about what's going on in the soil biochemistry below ground. We realize that these measures are one of the causal factors that have led us into this problematic agricultural situation that we're in today.